Okay.
Raiding the Kingdom, episode 156, more of the same. This is our week 1 review, week 2 preview. Coach has his Burrowhead, my ass shirt on. I'm wearing
Shout
all
out
Raiders
DC4L
stuff.
Customs.
Yep, DC4L Customs, our boy over there. The reason for the title is more of the same. Is the Raiders look the exact same that I left them in 2023, and the Chiefs look effing perfect coming off of a Super Bowl win. So I'm in hell. Coach is doing great. Let's go, Coach. How are we doing, bud? You're probably doing great.
Yeah. I'm doing good, man. It was obviously a week ago. We had the game just about now, so it's been a little bit of time for it to marinate. It was obviously a great game. 29 million people watched it. Opening night of football, you're gonna catch a lot of eyes, and especially being like the only game on Thursdays, it's gonna bring a lot of viewers in. But it just shows the power of the NFL, and 29 million people tuning in for a game is obviously huge. We got the dub, man. It was 27-20, hard fought game. I thought that it was a game that the score, I don't think necessarily dictated what I, in my personal opinion, believe the Chiefs really dominated. I think there was definitely some missed opportunities, kind of knocking some rust off, probably for both teams. So that's, to be fair, both teams, week 1, game 1, you're going to knock some rust off, especially when you're not playing consistently in the preseason and just getting those in-game reps. But 27-20, Pat had a good game, a bad interception, which, has kind of become
came off a tip though, didn't it?
He has more of a tip. He really doesn't, I guess, throw bad interceptions. A lot of times it's on his receivers, especially you saw that the last couple of years that's
Christmas. Do you remember that game?
It's Christmas. That's what you live on. He's gonna
That's what I live on.
Wait until we play. I'm sure he's gonna be targeting him multiple times. I was right on my Xavier Worthy and Isaiah Pacheco getting in the end zone. Xavier had a sweet run there, and just when you see this dude play and this in-game speed that he has, it is obviously very similar to another former Chiefs player who's now in Miami and getting handcuffed and all the good stuff. So, you had to love getting Xavier Worthy. And you look at the Bills, and the Bills have essentially given us Trent McDuffie, who's one of the top corners in the league. And then they gave us a Tyreek Hill type player. So thank you, Buffalo. You continue to repay us for, I don't know what you owe us, but we appreciate it. And then Isaiah Pacheco had a great game. He got in the end zone as well. Harrison Butker kicked a couple field goals, and and then Xavier Worthy had a nice touchdown catch too. So he did a little bit of everything. We didn't have Hollywood Brown. He wasn't there. Travis Kelce really didn't have much of a game either. His presence was still felt though, because you always gotta watch out for that dude, so you can design plays to kind of think it's going to go to Kelce, and then it's not going to go to him. So
the one big rollout by Mahomes, Kelce was like, they have that sink down, and he made himself wide open. That was a huge gain. That was really his biggest play of the game, I thought.
Yeah, it was his biggest play of the game. So it was, again, the offense looked great. The defense looked great. And then, looking at the stats here, kind of looking at our leading tacklers and stuff like that. So, Jalen Watson, who's essentially taken Snead's position. Snead's over there in Tennessee right now, and we thank him for 2 Super Bowls and being an absolute beast. But he got paid in Tennessee, so props to him. But Jalen Watson had 11 total tackles. Pass deflection, a big one, and I believe it was Zay Flowers, and he was huge in that game. And then, but you look at him. So Jalen Watson's a 7th round pick. Justin Reed was 2nd. He's a free agent. Then you have Nick Bolton drafted by us in the 2nd round. Leo Chanel, 7 tackles, 3 solo tackles, another 3rd round pick. He's a 3rd or 4th round pick. And then you have Tremarnie Connor, who's a 4th round pick. And then Brian Cook, who's a 3rd round pick. All these guys are all homegrown. And then obviously Chris Jones had another dominating performance. That dude is without a doubt, like we talked about last week. Now that Aaron Donald's gone, clear-cut #1 defensive tackle in football. I don't have one single doubt about that. And he continues to make his presence felt. So just a great overall win. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Ravens later on. Obviously, it's going to be in the playoffs. They are a good team. You know, you just came to Arrowhead and you hit a buzzsaw, you know, and the end of that game was very nerve-wracking. Definitely holding my breath.
Just by a toe.
By a toe, right? And like Pat said, maybe you should get some white cleats. But again,
Right.
it was out of bounds. Rules are the rules. And, you know, who's to know if, like, you know, went to overtime, if they still would have won. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to trash the Ravens, but you can definitely tell that without Lamar Jackson and his running ability, that game would have been a lot different. But that's Lamar. He's just a game changer, and he's just a stud. So you got to give him props for that. But they need to help out Lamar, because he's not going to last all season doing what he had to do game one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was kind of frustrated watching the game, obviously, because the Chiefs looked good, but I thought the Ravens' offense was extremely predictable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sideline throws, attempts at screens, just not a lot of creativity on my end. I mean, some people had a difference of opinion. I didn't think Derrick Henry was able to really get it going at any time. You know who I thought looked phenomenal? Obviously, Xavier Worthy pisses me off because that's just a great pick. He's not a one as in like a 50-50 ball guy. He's not like Jamar Chase or Devontae Adams, but he's one of those, like, get him in open space, give him the ball, yards after catch, all that. I thought Rashee Rice looked the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, Rashee Rice. I didn't even mention him. Rashee Rice obviously had his, like, I don't want to say his coming out game, but he obviously there's a lot of off-season stuff with Rashee Rice, and you know, a lot of people are like, man, aren't the Chiefs lucky that he gets suspended? And it's the truth. He made some huge plays, and once you have Rice, Worthy, and Hollywood Brown, who, you know, a lot of people are like, is he really anything? Hollywood Brown, I think, with Patrick Mahomes is going to do work. He's got to sign a 1-year deal, so the man wants to. Seeing all these wide receivers get paid, Hollywood Brown wants to be in that hemisphere. So I think once he's back from injury, he's going to have a big year. So yeah, huge.
No, so that was my main takeaway. And of course, Mahomes just looked fantastic. The defense, especially your defensive line, was chewing them up. Yeah, I'm just pissed that the Chiefs looked like they're in midseason form in week 1.
Yep.
And I don't care if it was a 7-point game and a toe touchdown. I mean, regardless, they looked like the better team, and the better team won. So It is what it is.
100%.
So Chiefs are 1-0. Raiders fall to the Chargers 10-22. Not a fun game. It just kind of reminded me of the Jimmy Garoppolo era that began last year and ended midway through the season. Only able to get 10 points on the board, and it was because Alexander Mattison leapt over some guy, which was a dope play. But, you know, you have Devontae Adams with 5 receptions and 59 yards. Zamir White had 44 yards on 13 carries, a 3.4-yard average. The defense really did do quite well until they were on the field for the entire second half. And that's when things started to fall apart. You saw a fight at the end. Jack Jones chews it up with Palmer. Jack Jones, who I thought Antonio Pierce had kind of reeled in. Max Crosby had a rough day against Joe Alt, logged no pressures against him, no sacks. On the day, he had a sack and 3 QB hits, but still pretty impressive for the rookie right tackle to shut out, you know, somebody of Max Crosby's caliber. So that was a bit concerning to see. Christian Wilkins had a decent game. Tyree Wilson went out with a knee injury. Just useless. I don't even get me started on number 9 there. Gardner Minshew goes 22 for 35. He had like 276 yards, a touchdown, a bad interception. His pocket presence was a concern of mine. It would break down, and he just seemed kind of unaware of what was coming after him. Like, obviously, you got to have your head on a swivel, and he just wasn't really doing it. He had flashes, so I do think there's some potential there. Justin Herbert didn't go crazy. He was 17 for 26 for 149 yards and a tud. Not crazy. But they obviously took it to the ground, and J.K. Dobbins with 135 rushing yards. Yeah, I think he only had 45 yards in the first half, and then the second half he just exploded. We did sign Kayvon Chaisson, the former first-round pick from the Jags. Didn't really do a whole lot down there in Jacksonville, kind of bounced around for a bit. We'll see if he does anything. But Malcolm Kuntz being out with the knee injury did not help. Tyree Wilson really should be more of a D tackle. Him being a D end is not really in his wheelhouse, I think. But that spot right next to Max Crosby is taken with Christian Wilkins. So disappointing to lose to an AFC West rival team, especially the last time we played them. We beat them 63-21, and then to lose 22-10. They have all these new pieces. It's basically a brand new team, and we couldn't pull it together. So I did see some ESPN personalities saying Antonio Pierce is already in the hot seat. Pump the brakes. The guy's a leader. He's just got to reel the team back in, and we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, we have the Ravens in week 2. And I'm obviously not so optimistic about that one, but we'll get into that when we do our predictions. Coach, do you have anything on the Raiders game?
Yeah, obviously disappointing. I think you guys kind of going into the season knowing that Gardner Minshew is your starting quarterback. Expectations are obviously not super high. I don't think Gardner Minshew is a bad quarterback, but
no.
All things considered, I don't think he's the type of guy that talent-wise that should lead a team for 17 games in a season. That's just me. But definitely a good replacement for a game or two. But you guys just didn't get the job done. And I think as far as Antonio Pierce being a leader, I think he's a great leader. But that doesn't necessarily make you a great coach. You got to give him a little bit of time.
Yep.
Obviously, kind of got the boys together at midpoint last season and was solid. Now he's got the first full season from start to finish to get everything kind of in line. Like I said, you can be a great leader, but that doesn't necessarily make you a great coach. You need some more pieces there, obviously, to probably get the team where they need to be. But yeah, definitely disappointing week 1. Chargers are definitely a team that, Justin Herbert's coming back, new head coach, essentially a home game for you guys. Obviously, all the things on the X about people fighting in the stands and stuff like that's ridiculous. But that's if you have any chance of making the playoffs, this is a game that you needed to really win, start the season off right, kind of get some confidence behind Gardner and everything else. Didn't get it done, so you got to go into the Ravens and do work in Baltimore, man. That's the only option. Is I think even if you lose, but you keep it close and you show progression, that's something to build on. But again, if you don't have that quarterback, man, that you can just know that's going to win you a game.
Well, that's been my complaint for the last 2 years is that you replaced Derek Carr, who I'm not going to say we should have kept him just because he had a good game against the Saints, but he gave us a better chance to win than Gardner Minshew or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Derek Carr, 1,000% a guy that should still be in Vegas. I don't get why he's gone. It makes no sense. I mean, granted, he played the Carolina Panthers, who are just an atrocious football team.
Right, but are the Chargers a top 20 team in the league this year? I don't think so.
If Bosa and all those other guys stay healthy and Herbert can play to his ability, I think they could be a top 20 team. And a lot of things have to fall in right for that to happen. But
right,
yeah,
Mac and Bosa, yeah, the two of them stay healthy. I mean, for a lot of last year, it was just Mac by himself. They both can wreak havoc, and the run game obviously is going to be their bread and butter. So teams are going to have to deal with that when the time comes, and then Herbert can open it up if he wants to. So yeah, the AFC West is looking a little more competitive this year than last year. At least for the Chargers and Broncos have stepped it up a little bit, I feel like, which is surprising. But yeah, now while we get into those other teams, so we had our week 1 prediction battle. Coach and I ended up tying 9-9. So Coach is still in it. I'm still in it. The jersey race is not far off. And is it going to be weapon worthy, or who's going to be your jersey if you win? Got some time to think about it?
You got some time to think about it. I think, like I told you, McDuffie. And maybe I have a Leo Chanel signed jersey, but I think I might get Leo Chanel just jersey I can wear all the time.
Yeah, I can't wear the signed one. I have a Devontae Adams signed jersey. I will never wear it.
We also need to get Nick in on this too. I know he sent you your predictions last week. I don't know if you got them or what, but
I got to tally him up. Well, how's that going to work with 3?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully Nick just loses.
Actually, maybe that's easier than the other teams.
If Nick loses, he has to give us both jerseys. Yep.
Well, I was saying that if I win, the two of you can split my jersey, so offset the cost.
Yeah, there we go. That works. That works.
All right. Okay. So I'll get Nick's predictions. I'll score those up. So I'll have an update for next week. He's got to give me his week 2 predictions.
He wanted to be with us. He's being a cool guy and is at a conference this week, so he couldn't jump on, but we'll have him on next week. Yeah,
we'll get him back. All right, Coach, I'm a gentleman. I'll let you start. Thursday Night Football, Bills and Dolphins. Who you got?
Bills and Dolphins, man. Josh Allen. I one of my prediction was the Cardinals, and I was like, man, the Cardinals are going to do it. But then Josh Allen comes back and leads the charge back. He's a stud, man. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I really do think he's the second best quarterback behind Mr. Patrick Mahomes. I'll take Buffalo in this game. I'm not overly impressed with Miami. Tua really didn't look all that good to me. Raheem Mostert is not going to be playing for Miami this week. I know Devin Achane is their main running back anyways. Achan, whatever. You know me. I say last names the way I feel they should be. The way they should sound. But yeah, I'm gonna go Bills on this one. I gotta roll with Josh Allen.
All right, I'm gonna take the Dolphins. Trust my guy Mike McDaniel. Tyreek coming off of his arrest, he's feeling good, or his detention, if you will. So I'm gonna go Dolphins. Sunday 1:00 game. So we have no Friday. The Friday game was sweet, just to have that to I wouldn't say break up the week, to just keep it going. But I have started watching more college football, so that helps things. 49ers at the Vikings. I'm going to go Niners. I thought they looked great against the Jets. Jets really didn't stand much of a chance. I was honestly surprised at how well Sam Darnold looked. Who did they play?
Giants.
I mean, terrible team right now. Terrible quarterback, all the above. But I'm going to go 49ers. Go Niners.
I'm going to take Niners too. Apparently, the Niners haven't won in Minneapolis in 31 years. So I heard that on the radio this morning. So that helps.
Bit of a jarring stat.
Yeah, that helps the Vikings a little bit. But I will go 49ers as well. They were just as good, without Christian McCaffrey, who they like to announce an hour before game time, which totally me in fantasy, but that's okay.
Did you start him?
Well, yeah, I had no other option.
Oh, because it was already locked in by the time.
I couldn't drive. There was Jordan Mason wasn't even I think available.
Oh, right, and it was the Monday game. Yeah, so
and I would have had to drop McCaffrey to get him. So yeah, no.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
Awesome.
All right, so we're both agreed on the Niners. Coach, you have Seahawks versus Patriots.
Seahawks versus Patriots. Man, Patriots went into Burrowhead and did work. It sucked. I kind of wanted the Bengals to win because our own Dan Hurley was the guy who, I don't know what they, they bang the drum in KC. I don't know if they like scratch a post or something because they're cats in Cincinnati or whatever. But for Dan Hurley, the GOAT, I wanted him to get a win. But I will take the Seahawks reluctantly. I think the Patriots, Jacoby Brissett is a great game manager. But I think Geno Smith and the Seahawks, they got a pretty decent squad. I was, somewhat impressed with what they did with Denver. Granted, they're playing a rookie quarterback, but I'll take Seattle.
Did you see that scramble, though, that Geno Smith had? I did not know he was that fast. I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was like,
he threw back to his West Virginia days for sure.
Is that Zach Charbonnet or like who's running there? And I'm like, oh my God, it's Geno Smith. So I was impressed.
Yep.
I'm also going to take the Seahawks. I know Patriots fans, because unfortunately I live in New England, are loving life right now. I hope that it's brief. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I've got the Giants and the Commanders. I'm going to go Commanders. Jaden Daniels looked everything like I thought he was going to be. A lot of RPOs, goal line touchdowns. I traded for him in fantasy for Kyler Murray. I'm happy with that decision. The Giants, the O-line looked a little better. Malik Neighbors looked as described, but Daniel Jones also looked as described, which is trash. And I'm going Commanders. I can't bet on the Giants right now. There's no way.
Yeah, me either, man. We got some more on the Giants a little later in the show. But, yeah, I'm going to go Commanders as well. The Washington definitely has got their quarterback for now until hopefully the next 10, 15 years. I know Commanders fans have been wanting that for a long time.
There's Commanders fans?
The 10 of them. Them and the Chargers fans, they share the same.
10 total, yeah.
10 total, yeah. They go on the same bus together. But right. Yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders. They look pretty good.
It's a short bus, but yeah.
Yeah, they go on the short bus. They didn't get the dub, but they showed promise. So Buccaneers were a playoff team last year. So yeah, I'll go Commanders over Giants.
There you go. Chargers and Panthers. I hate to do it. I have to pick the Chargers on this one. The Panthers are just an absolute dumpster fire.
Yep.
I saw no signs of promise or anything from them. I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, me too. I went last week in my survivor pool, took Miami. They went to the end and got me onto the next round. I think there's like 30 something of us left because a lot of people went with the Bengals over the Patriots, and this week I'm going Chargers over Panthers. I would think that about 99% of the people will probably do the same thing because I feel like that's a pretty sure bet. Bryce Young just does not look good at all. Granted, he doesn't have a whole lot of talent around him. You put Bryce Young on a different team, different squad, maybe Miami, and he's probably doing a lot better. But yeah, I'm going to go Chargers for sure.
Chargers for sure. Coach, you have the Saints versus the Cowboys. We them boys.
We them boys, man. The Cowboys look good. I was surprised at how well they dominated that Browns defense. So I'm going to go Cowboys. Saints are a good team. I mean, the NFC South is so wide open. I still have a good feeling that the Saints could probably win that division. But I'm going to go Cowboys in this game. You know, Dak got paid. CD got paid. They're on a mission.
I'm going to go Cowboys as well. You know, I kind of think the Saints, once again, it was the Panthers. It's week 1. Derek Carr, is time to do Derek Carr things. I still love the guy. It's just, you know, I've seen him for a while, so I kind of know what the deal is. And that Cowboys defense looks real. So yeah. I'm going to go Cowboys as well. Next is Colts and Packers. This one kind of had me. Anthony Richardson, he'd do a couple plays, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then I watched some, I'm like, oh my God, this kid is phenomenal. Like, he had like a 68-yard bomb or something like that.
Pierce.
Alec Pierce. It was fantastic. He's just got to figure out how to slide and avoid some hits. The Packers likely are starting Malik Willis. There's rumors of Ryan Tannehill. Either way, I don't think that's going to be the end all or the cure. Jordan Love is out for, I think, 3 weeks. Now it seems it could be even shorter, but they should not rush him back. So I'm going to go Colts over the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts too. Sorry, Austin. You know, just that field over there in Brazil is just terrible. I'm glad, you know, of all people sneeze who didn't get messed up is Saquon Barkley. So he's clearly been either got lucky or been training his ass off doing those 600-pound squats, I guess, protected his knee. But yeah, Jordan Love needs to come back out. It's, you know, it hurts the Packers being 0-2, but there's, you know, it's at least it's not a torn ACL. I mean, Love will be back. Just, I think he needs to take his time. And I honestly think after this week, they might go get Tannehill, or just go with Clifford. But yeah, I don't see the Packers winning.
Not at all. Coach, you have Browns versus Jags.
I'm going to go Browns maybe not. I'm going to go Jags in this game. Deshaun Watson was just absolutely horrendous. You know, every sports talk radio person, that guy called into Cleveland talking about Mayfield and the dude losing his absolute mind was funny, but Watson just looked absolutely terrible. I just don't really have faith that he will get any better. I think he's just kind of a broken man at this point, and they can't cut him. You know, he's next 3 years, it's like $173 million hit against the cap.
Yeah.
He will stay there. I think eventually Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback, and that might change things. But Jags had a costly fumble, otherwise they would have won that game in Miami. So I think Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, and those boys get it figured out, and they will get the win. They'll get the dub.
I am also going Jags. I know the Browns defense is their bread and butter, but Deshaun Watson's going to get a lot of people fired. This is a franchise organizational decision that's going to haunt them for decades. No one else has followed suit. You know, there's always guaranteed money going around, but no one has given that much. And to someone,
okay, let me ask you this: contract aside,
you
either can have Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson, or let's just throw in there Bryce Young. Who are you taking?
Bryce Young. I would rather have the younger kid and mold him and fix him. Deshaun Watson came there a broken man. He's still a broken man with more past history, more allegations. It's just an absolute disaster to be rewarded with a contract like that. Doing what you're doing, it's out of control. And then Daniel Jones is just a mess, and he's probably mentally a shell right now. So I think Bryce Young. I saw the talent at Alabama. I would still take the flyer on him, put him in a better situation, and things. Give him the Raiders offense. I think you'd see something different. So astute. I'm going Jags. Well, you and I only have one disagreement so far, and it's the Bills and Dolphins. Everything else is lined up.
Yep.
Next, I've got Jets and Titans. I was surprised at the Titans' performance last weekend. The Jets, I think, are going to do a little bit better. They went against the 49ers, also coming off the Super Bowl. I thought they were going to come out firing, and they did. Couple weird throws by Aaron Rodgers, but at least he stayed alive for a whole game. So I guess that's the standard we're looking for in New York/New Jersey. I'm going to go Jets over the Titans. I'm just not a Titans believer without Mike Vrabel there. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jets as well. I think, Callahan will eventually get that team right. Will Levis, the Connecticut kid, made some bad plays. I still think
another one that needs to learn how to slide. Oh my God.
Yeah. He definitely needs to learn how to do that. He's got, like I said, he's got potential. I mean, a lot of people he's not a starting quarterback in the league. I think you got to give him a little bit more time. But yeah, the Jets will get the win.
All right. We agree again. Coach, you have Bucks and Lions.
Bucks and Lions. I'm going to go with the kneecap biters, the Lions, man. I've been on the show the last couple of years and have liked where they're going. Got a good win on Sunday night, and they will continue that. And, they're on a crash course to have a rematch, hopefully against the 49ers in the NFC.
I'm taking the Bucks. I love what I saw out of Baker. I picked them to win last week, and I was thankfully correct. They're already gelled. They already got the vibe down. Baker knows the playbook. Defense without Shaq Barrett still looked pretty good, who retired this offseason. I'm going Bucks. I think the Bucks got it. It's a bit of an upset if they win, but I think it's possible. And can I just take the next one?
Go ahead.
So it's Raiders and Ravens. We're going to Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry are going to have an absolute 200 yards rushing between the two of them. The offense is going to have some struggles. They have a great defense. Their defensive line is hungry. Their corners are great. Their safety, Kyle Hamilton's probably the best safety in the league. Better than Reed. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Well, you're a realist then. So I unfortunately don't believe my Raiders will come out victorious this week. I'm going to have to pick Lamar Jackson, the Raiders. I do love Lamar. I think he's awesome.
Lamar Jackson, the Ravens.
What'd I say, the Raiders?
Yeah.
Well, I wish you were the Raiders. That'd be great. I know, right? I'm going to assume you're going to stick with me on this one and take the Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens in this. I think, everything you said is on point. So the Ravens will get the dub. They'll even their record out. They'll be 500 by the end of the week.
Yep, I agree. And we're going to start the season 0-2, which Raiders fans, you can come after me for it, but I'm a realist. I can be delusional at times like the rest of you, but right now I have to pick Lamar and the boys. Coach, you have the 405 Rams versus Cardinals. You going to take another one on the Cardinals or what?
I think the Rams get back in the win column. I think it's a close game. I think losing Puka hurts, but Cooper Kupp looked good. Kyron Williams looked good. Matt Stafford looked good. And Jared Verse on the DL line was pretty dominant for the Rams, who lost a lot of defensive weapons. So I'll take the Rams. It'll be a close game, but I think the Rams will get it done.
I am taking the Rams as well. For all the things that you mentioned. You see that startling stat? Marvin Harrison, 1 reception, 4 yards.
Yeah, it was great.
He went very early.
He could have caught the winning touchdown and helped me out, but no, it's all good.
I avoided him like the plague in all my fantasy leagues. I just skipped right over him. I took Malik Neighbors in 2 of them, which is telling you something because it's Daniel Jones, who's far less developed than Kyler Murray, but I didn't see it happening. I'm sure it will happen. Just week 1 was not it. They weren't on the same page. So I'm going to go Rams as well. 425. Coach, this one is all yours. Bengals versus Chiefs. Burrowhead.
Yeah, Burrowhead my ass. I am
taking Kansas. Games in
Kansas City. Yep, games in Kansas City. So I'm taking the Chiefs in this game, no doubt. First 2 games are in Kansas City, which is nice. Good reward for the champs. T. Higgins isn't playing. I think that's pretty much a guarantee at this point. We don't really know about Jamar Chase, which obviously helps us, right? Because you're down a significant amount of weapons. Burrow, didn't look great. People were talking about how he couldn't grip a Gatorade bottle, how his wrist might not fully be healed, which I wouldn't be shocked on. Joe Burrow is still I think a great quarterback, but he needs his weapons, and he's not going to really have all of his ammo in the chamber. So I'm going to take Kansas City pretty significant. I think they're going to dominate this game. I mean, the only thing that they really got going for him is maybe Zach Moss. Zach Moss might be able to do a little bit of work on the Chiefs run defense, but other than that, I'm pretty confident that the Chiefs will at least win by 10 points.
I'm taking the Chiefs as well. You know how I feel about holdouts, hold-ins, whatever. Even though Jamar Chase had some catches, I just think everyone's a little bit out of whack over there. And the Bengals do this where they take a little bit to settle in, and then by playoff time they're in their groove. They're not in their groove right now. I cannot pick them. I'm going Chiefs as well. I've got the Steelers and Broncos, the last 4:00 game. I think I have to take the Broncos. I saw a couple flashes out of Bo Nix, and I was like, oh, that he could be decent. He could be decent, which I really hate. And I hate the Broncos. And
we both hate the Donkeys. We do love you, Nick.
Family
we love you,
Nick. No, I don't. Well, I like you, Nick. I just don't love your team. Yeah.
We don't love your team. We love you as a person, Nick. But as a team, we don't.
Are you picking them too?
I'm going to pick the Broncos as well.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
I feel like if Nick's watching this live, he's, putting up a fist and saying, yeah.
Oh, he better
but maybe. But yeah, I liked what I saw out of Bo Nix too. The Steelers just, the quarterback situation there is just, it's crazy. I think Fields eventually will figure it out. He's still young. I know this is like year 4 for him, but nonetheless, I will take the Broncos in this game.
Is just
really could go either way. I mean,
could it be Russell this week?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I mean, I think Russell would want that game against the Broncos just so he could cook. But yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos in this game.
All right, Coach. You have the Sunday night football game, Bears versus Texans. I think I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Texans, man. The Bears, had a good comeback. Caleb Williams didn't look great. I think, the Texans are maybe what the Bears will be in a couple years.
Could be.
But, I like what I saw. Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Joe Mixon had a big game. They have a good defense.
Joe Mixon had a great game.
C.J.
Stroud's a stud.
So yeah, I'm going to take the Texans in this, and I think I'll be pretty convincingly. Like I said, the people talking about the Bears maybe getting 10 wins, I think is a little bit.
I think Adam Rank said 12.
12. Well, we know how much we love Adam Rank, so
right.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Texans in this game.
All right, I'm taking them as well. The Bears defense bailed out Caleb Williams.
100%.
I think the best rookie quarterback of Week 1 was Jaden Daniels without a doubt. So not that I predicted that or anything. And then the Monday night football game, Birds versus Birds, Falcons versus Eagles. That Eagles D-line is just out of control. The offense kind of needs to get it together, but Saquon Barkley, easily their best offseason pickup, really rubbing it in the Giants' face. And can you imagine what they're going to do then when they play the Giants? Oh, my God. I'm going Eagles 100%.
Yeah, the Georgia Eagles are
the Georgia Eagles
are. Yeah, I'm pretty confident the Eagles will win this game. I don't think Kirk Cousins is 100% healthy. So I think the Falcons, they're still gelling. So I'll take the Eagles because the Eagles just have, like I said, their line is just a bunch of studs. And Saquon Barkley is just looking like vintage Saquon. So I'm going to take the Eagles as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, and also the Falcons, Kirk Cousins just looks like he's not really in rhythm quite yet. That's going to be a work in progress, I think.
Yeah, on that motion when he fumbled. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that wasn't his fault, but that was
Yeah. So it looks like you and I really only have 2 big deciding games to determine who takes the lead or a possible lead here. You got Bills and Dolphins and Bucks and Lions. That's where we had our difference of opinion. So we'll see.
Trying to be more conservative this year.
So last year, we would give an award out at the end of this show called the Jackson Mahomes Award of Excellence. Jackson Mahomes has disappeared, which is just great for everyone.
Yeah.
But we have a new star rising who's from Coach's home team. Well, his new home team.
Yep.
Coach, why don't you explain the new award for the people real quick?
So the new award is the Harrison Butker Get in the Kitchen Award, okay? Sometimes we might switch it up. Harrison Butker, Make Me a Sandwich Award, whatever. So the Get in the Kitchen Award can either be a good thing or a bad thing. It's kind of however we feel. It's kind of playing off the Harrison Butker comments from the graduation speech last year.
Yes.
So we're having fun with it. If you're offended by it, then
maybe the show's not for you.
The show's not for you. Grow up here. Which for people like that, they probably would want to. So, anyways, my Harrison Butker Get in the Kitchen award will be, Brendan's going to yell at me for this afterwards because, he runs this, and, we need to add sponsors and all that. But anyways, so my Harrison Butker Get in the Kitchen award goes to Mr. Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the New York Giants. And when I saw this stat, I had to do a little research on it, and it blew my mind. Since he signed his extension, his 4-year, $160 million extension, and is getting paid $40 million a year, he has thrown more pick sixes, 3, than he has touchdowns to his own team, which is absolutely insane. And, I don't believe in making an athlete feel like they want to jump off a bridge, but I'm sure
not about
New
that
York,
life.
Yeah, New York is not the place to be if you don't have
No, they're vultures.
if you don't have thick skin. That and Philly, the East Coast it's a different beast. That's that's why I think some people are my sarcasm or whatever that people out here is like, wait, what? But yeah, you gotta have thick skin. And Daniel Jones, I feel for the dude. I do, because I don't think anyone wants to be that bad. He just can't get it done.
I would hope no one wants to be that bad.
Yeah, he just can't get it done. And being a 6th pick and all this other stuff, it's rough. And I don't necessarily see I don't see it getting any better. So I think the backup is what's his face? Who's the backup there now?
Tyrod Taylor?
No, it's who is the guy at the Missouri quarterback from the Broncos who went to Seattle?
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. I believe Drew Lock's the backup.
He is the backup. Yep,
Drew Lock's the backup. Yeah, sorry guys. Drew Lock, I think who Nick still loves, will end up finishing the season as starting quarterback for the Giants.
I hate him so much.
I don't think Daniel Jones makes it through the season. If Brian Daboll has any hope of keeping his job, I think you gotta put Drew Lock in there. Maybe give it a couple weeks, but yeah, see what he can do with the offense, because Daniel Jones can't get it done.
That's a pretty great Harrison Butker Get in the Kitchen award. My award is going to go to the NFL International Games Committee for sending the Eagles and the Packers it was still a good game. What's frustrating is to watch games that are so affected by field conditions that no one wants to watch them. We got some injuries out of it, and I think part of it was due, obviously, to what happened on the play, but also what happened with the field. I thought there was an agreement when they go to these international games that the fields will be inspected beforehand to make sure it's safe for the players. You're putting millions and millions of dollars worth of players, not to sound like their property, possibly billions in your franchise on these fields, and you could lose them for the entire season because they're too sloppy and slick and turfy and what have you. So stop being cheap, put grass field out. I'm done. I don't want to see any more games like that where the players look like they're playing on ice. This isn't hockey.
Yeah, and it's something that I was thinking about, right? Because I think you were going to go down this route. As far as
it's
the
annoying.
International games go, and I'm not any expert in this. I wish Austin was on here for this comment right now. But you know how these world-class European soccer clubs, they'll come into to the United States and do a summer tour, right? None of the stud players, as far as I'm concerned, are ever really at those games. It's just the B squad essentially comes in and plays, right? But it's a big deal. Why are we sending our top guys over to Brazil or Germany or Europe or whatever that have impact on the season, where it's just, I get it. You're trying to grow the game to game. I don't think is necessarily going to grow substantially if you have a game in Brazil.
Half of them are wearing Steelers jerseys to the game.
I think it's dumb. I think, once, you lose a significant player like a Lamar Jackson or like a Dak Prescott goes down with a knee injury because the fields are bad, you're going to look back and be like, what the heck? You're not only losing a home game and doing all the travel and all this other stuff, but you're playing on a field that's not that's not proper for
it's not up to the standard.
Not up to the standard. So I don't get it, but the NFL is all about making money, and that's what they're trying to do. So that's it is what it is.
Right. And you can laugh about kind of what happened to Aaron Rodgers last year because now it's done. But no one wanted to see that. All this big buildup, all those number 8 jerseys, and then we got a crappy year of Jets football for the whole year. And I'm not a Jets fan, and neither is Coach, but you want to see the best on the field. And when they play on crappy conditions like that, there's a big risk there, and you may not see those guys get to play. And here we go. Jordan Love is out for 3 to 6 weeks or something. So we'll see. So those are our Harrison Butker Get in the Kitchen Award winners. Daniel Jones in the NFL International Games Committee. Hopefully both of them can do better in the future. We will come back to you guys for episode 157 next week. I mean, we're already into week 2. I just want this to slow down, but I'm having a ball now that football is back. Coach and I are just in heaven. And we have, we're both going to some games this year. We'll have some live stuff for you, credentialed by the Chiefs. We'll see how that works out. Those did get approved, so big deal on that one. But yeah, exciting season up, and be sure to patronize our sponsors on SeatGeek, promo code RTK, and on Underdog Fantasy for $100 match deposit, promo code BAD0178 or Beast from the East 302.
It's spelled a certain way. I mean, it's just I don't know why we couldn't have it. Just keep it at RTK, but use those. You'll get you get the match. It goes to us. It'll all go to the fund here, the RTK fund, so we can bring you more content, giveaways, all that good stuff.
Right. Half that money ends up going to DC4L Customs anyways for polos or t-shirts or whatever. So giveaways for you guys. So we'll figure it out.
My ass, get that shirt there, bro.
There you go. DC4L Customs T. I'll let him know we gave him a shout. He's probably listening anyways. But so there you go, everyone. That's our show for this week. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, very active. We're getting the IG up soon. Peace.
Go Chief.